Hello, everyone, and welcome to GetRECalled. Oh, I am on the wrong string. What? This is... Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to GetRECalled Week 1. My name is Noah Siren Hassoun, and I am joined by the amazing... Squeal. Thank you. Thank you, Ziani. I'm very happy. So we are going to get right into this. Are you excited for this? Okay. Well, we are excited to have you, and so let us get into this with Diamond Cap. So, would you like to introduce our first team? Wait, you can't hear? Wait, fourth shot, are you muted? What? 1 second, you guys. Scuff, no! 1 second. Interesting. You should be able to hear. Just 1 second, you guys. I promise I'll fix this. Add audio and output. Okay. Talk now.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear Logan now? Chat. We're good. They can hear you. Yes.
That is beautiful.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Would you like to reintroduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Logan FOTC 4-shot Alker.
Okay. And would you like to introduce our first team as well?
Okay. The first team in Diamond Cap is B-Dale and the Goon Squad with the captain No Fear Matson, a player that's been around for a little bit in the scene. They are led by the top laner 2019 Offended, their jungler Chief, their mid laner Call Me Sensei, ADC B-Dale, and their support No Fear Matson.
He is not at a party. He is. I actually have no clue.
I'm actually at the Mizzou Esports facility right now.
Yeah, so he's going to have some background noise, so he is on push to talk right now, but no need to worry because I am also here. So, beat down the Goon Squad. Do you want to talk a little bit about them? No Fear Matson obviously been a player that you said has been around in a while. Do we know any of these other names though?
I actually do not know any of these names. Some of these names are actually new faces to me. I believe 2019 Offended, I have seen his name before, but I have not actually seen him.
Well, with Beat Down the Goon Squad being somewhat of a new team, it's basically OSU Diamond. Hashtag go Pokes. Pokes have a history of losing. Anyways, moving on to the next team. We are going to have First Blood Legion with their captain, Nick Phoenix Glory Doused. In the top lane, leading the charge is Edaforius. In the jungle, they have Echo. In the mid, they have Phoenix Glory. In ADC, they have Hajime Nagumo. And in the support role, they have FB Jake. Why are they hurting the blood? I have no clue. But a lot of familiar names here. FB Jake played in Plat Capped last split, as well as Echo. Phoenix Glory has been around for a while, as well as Edforius. The only name I don't really recognize is Hajime Nagumo. Do you?
I do not know that, but yes, the other few players, they have been around in the scene. I believe they played on the, can't think about what their name is, the Mayhem guys. They had the really cool jerseys that were custom made at the LAN last season.
Awesome. Well, going on to the next team, Tried and True. Would you like to introduce them?
I would, wait, who? Gecko Slammer Armageddon?
Yes.
Oh, the boys. Gecko Slammer Armageddon. My dad, King Yeetloaf as the captain. In the top lane, we got General Vici. In the jungle, King Yeetloaf. Mid lane, Inox, ADC, Rito Torchic, and support Humana. So, this team is actually a mixture of the top half of the map of Iron 5 and the bottom half of the map of Landsnake. GSM was a brand that's been around for a while, but they're just now getting back into the diamond scene. Last scene, they were 4th place with Ari Panda as support. Keep that in mind. This team actually signed up with Ikato in the jungle and Yeetloaf in the mid lane. I have no word on what happened with that, but this team is still pretty stacked in my eyes.
Yeah, obviously a bit of roster changes near the end. Vici did switch last split, which is what he's telling us. But overall, looks like a very solid team. Obviously, a team that's been around the GRLCS for a long time, started by our very own Ari Panda. So going on to the next team, we have maybe the best name and the best image, Glenn Bell and the Flying Chalupas. With their captain, Chris Can't Miss Mosher. In the top lane, they have Cute Lolly Thigh. In the jungle, they have Hasty Chalupa. In the mid lane, they have Weenie. As their ADC, they have Just Do It. And in the support role, they have Chris Can't Miss. Obviously, by far, these guys have been kind of memeing. They did those thumb guys from Spy Kids as well as other teams, and I don't know where this creativity comes from, honestly.
Yeah, no, this team is just very memeish, but they actually do get the wins when needed.
Yeah. But overall, we will talk about these teams later when we talk about power rankings for both of ourselves as well as the community rankings, which are chosen by you guys. We had around 30 people in each division vote, so great stuff. Would you like to introduce our next team?
Yes, the next team that we're going to be talking about is Oklahoma Diamond Rush, led by their captain, the respectable Devin OGR Silverhammer. In the top lane, they've got the returning man from Kansas University, Mechanical Reaper. They got their jungle Noctron, their mid lane Dylan Rue, their ADC Saber, and their support OGR Silverhammer. This team is actually kind of returning to the scene. OGR Silverhammer, I know, played last split. Mechanical Reaper is coming back, actually. He was on a break because he had to do with school. And their bot lane Saber, I forgot what team he's from exactly, but he did play last split, and I do see something coming out of this team potentially.
Yeah, this team looks pretty solid, and we are going to go on to the next one, which is the Poo Poo Crew. With their captain, Christian Wuhujin, I'm not going to even try and pronounce that last name, I'm sorry. In the top lane, we have PP Poo Poo 52, also known as Triple Proxy. In the jungle, we have PP Poo Poo 43, also known as Haley Kyoko. In the mid lane, we have PP Poo Poo 30, also known as Hazy Bear. In the ADC role, we have PP Poo Poo 09, also main account known as Wuhujin. And in the support role, we have PP Poo Poo 68, with their main account being Cacti. Obviously, this team is, they won the Summer Splash, given the Summer Splash apparently wasn't as competitive. I'm at least in the Plat Cap division. I know Uncapped definitely was at a much higher bar, to my knowledge. I didn't really watch Summer Splash, so I can't really talk about it too much. Do you have any words about this team?
Yeah, so actually, this team is actually pretty stacked. Their bot lane, 09 and 68, they're a very, very versatile bot lane. They're actually really good at playing ADC support, or they can play like a funneling comp. They can really do whatever they want. We played against them twice, actually, one time during the season, or during the Summer Splash season, and then one time in playoffs. The playoffs was basically kind of like a finals-like scenario. They were really good. That's all I'm going to say. They did lose their mid laner, and they did lose their top laner because they both were too high of a rank. But I still see this team being a major competition, even if they're playing Trolley.
Sounds good. And moving on to the next team, we have... You can introduce them, Logan.
Oh, of course. I know. I'm just getting myself hyped up for this one. We got Return of the Middle Sticks, me and the boys. So, we got our captain, Lane Liposuction Sorrel, the Orn main. In the top lane, Liposuction Lane. Orn main's coming through. Jungle, the MVP, Tendies 2. The man is insane. He can play whatever he wants. We still win. In the mid lane, we got a familiar face that's subbed for us a couple times. We got Algu, Nigel. He's going to come in, pull some spicy picks out, and hopefully catch some dubs. In the ADC, that dang dude, also known as Demon Print, the KDA player, likes to sit behind, not do anything. They'll cause one trick, by the way. And the new face that I have not actually met yet is the support Salazar. He is in Masters already, so I hope to see some spice out of the bot lane down here. I plan on little secret coming out here. I plan on being a little bit of a coach, maybe. Just sitting in their champ select. Not even saying a damn word, just letting them do it themselves. But I just want to say that this team is stacked.
So, seeing that Solazur is in Masters right now, we are seeing a little bit of sandbagging. Not really, though, because there isn't really an uncapped division in GRLCS. But we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Return of the Middle Sticks for the time being. Going on to the next team, we have Saucy Summoners, which I assume their pictures straight out of something like an Olive Garden ad. In the top, and their captain is Devin Killering Sunday. In the top lane, they have Vital. In the jungle, they have Mike Oaksmail Bros. In the mid lane, they have Killering. In the ADC role, they have Hurricanes. And in the support role, they have Randy Newman. I really only recognize Killering and Randy Newman from these names. Thank you, Meristomatic, for the Return of the Middle Sticks copy pasta. Very much appreciated.
The greatest copy pasta known to man.
But do you have anything to say about the Saucy Summoners?
I actually do not. Randy Newman, great support. He's been around the league for a while. I've seen him in multiple games. We've gone hand in hand because I was in the bot lane. Me and him go head and head. Killering actually is kind of a flexible player. He played support and mid in their split, so I want to see what he'll do. He's actually in Diamond 1 right now, which nobody really thought of that because his play wasn't the greatest, but I do want to see how he's improved from last split to this split.
Yeah. Well, definitely something to be looking at. And our next team, if you'd so kindly introduce them.
I would love to. Is the Team Fish Taco. Undeniably, whether you say it or not, Mr. Siren, the best picture. They had the best picture the other time. They are well known as the team that joined Diamond Capped, went 6-0, and then unfortunately did not make playoffs. They have the captain Cameron Amsterdam McAfee. In the top lane, they have Azuki, Jungle Heimerdoodles, mid lane probably not Fed, ADC Team Liquid Piero. I'm assuming that's Team Liquid, hopefully, and then support Amsterdam. So the names that I do know are the top lane and the jungle. They have Azuki, who's a power pressure top laner, almost a Scion one trick, not quite. We're getting there. And then in the jungle, we have Heimerdoodles, who was a very high leader on the kill participation leaderboards, which I would like to see more of that because he actually worked the map pretty well and actually got his team some wins. The mid laner, probably not Fed. That name has been kind of looks familiar, but I feel like it's somebody that might have changed their name that I've known before.
Well, we'll definitely be looking into them. And our next team is from the U.S. Army Esports. Definitely a new face on the scene with their captain, Paul Duras Harvey. Their top lane is Porkchop. Their jungle is Valencia. Their mid lane is Alacrity. Their ADC is Talented. And their support is Yrito. Definitely excited to see how this team does. Obviously, we don't know too much about them because they are new onto the scene. So definitely excited to see how this team plays throughout the league.
Yeah, very excited. First time I've seen any kind of sort of the U.S. Army playing in the esports. I know that I've heard it around in social media, news, all that. But it's good to see that they're actually finally coming into our.
Yeah.
So the next team we have Unlucky Ascension. These are my 20K tournament homies. So they are led by their captain Jordan DK Johnson with top lane Sacred Strike, jungle Mige Bear, mid lane the Otaku, the powerhouse ADC Tien Sama with his support DK.
I don't really have much to say about this team unless you have any final remarks on them.
This is the first split I've seen. I think DK move into the support role, so they're kind of look for another powerhouse support to fill the spot of Curb Stomp, who was a Grandmaster support. So him and Tien were a super strong bot lane, as Tien is every split. So I do want to see how this bot lane is going to play out. And in the top lane Sacred Strike, I'm hoping to see some spicy picks.
Yep. And then our last team in Diamond Capped, we have Unlucky Retribution with their captain, Player John Periada. With their top laner, Player John. In the jungle, they have Gavi. In the mid lane, they have Drifty12. In the ADC role, they have Yeehaw, brudda. And in the support role, they have Sai Gotham.
Yeah. So, do you have any remarks before I hard flame them real quick?
Oh no, you get by all means go hard flame them.
No, I'm just kidding. hopefully I see something out of this team. Player John, dad, another dad to me, best friend. He actually, hopefully, since Classic WoW just came out, that I know player John loves RuneScape. That his team grinds RuneScape all the time. They should be their name shouldn't be Unlucky Retribution. It has to do something with RuneScape.
Oh,
But since
Retribution is a RuneScape player. We got that much.
Oh yeah, Unlucky Retribution is definitely a classic RuneScape team. But now that Classic WoW is out, I do want to see how they're going to play with both grinds going.
Yeah, definitely interested to see how they are going to do. So now moving on, we are going to talk about Diamond Power Rankings right now. So we're going to first look at the bottom 7 from myself, Fourth Shot, as well as your guys's, which are the community rankings. I did not hide these at all because I ran out of time and I'm sorry, scuff stream. So you're going to see the bottom 6, and then you're going to see the top 6 for Diamond. So, and we're going to talk about each of them individually. So, going on. For my 12th slot, I had Unlucky Retribution. For Fourth Shot's 12th shot, he had Unlucky Retribution. And for y'all's 12th slot, y'all had Unlucky Retribution. I don't think we need to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, I think they're going to be focusing a lot of their time on other games. I know player John loves to play some RuneScape, so that's going to be a little bit of a lack behind the team. I do want to see this team perform well, so it is going to be surprising if they do get to pull off some pretty saucy dubs.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the 11th place teams?
Yes. The 11th place team, B-Dell and the Goon Squad. This was the first team that we introduced. It's actually a team that I know very little about. So I did have to put them down a little bit lower just because I do want to see them prove themselves to me. But you can say what you need to say, but I do not know enough about these guys to put them any higher than.
I didn't really recognize most of the names on it, so that it kind of just defaulted for me as well. However, for community rankings, we did have 11th place being Glenbell and the Flying Chalupas, which is who I had for 10th place. Love the guys. They did not do so hot on those guys with those thumb guys from Spy Kids. So that is the reason why I put them at 10th place, if you want to talk about your 10th place.
I had them at 9th place, actually, the Glenbell and the Flying Chalupas. I'll talk about them in just a second. As you said, my 10th pick is First Blood Legion. First Blood Legion, I believe, is the plat team that moved up to Diamond with a few new faces on the team. I have duoed with FB Jake before. He is a very good support. Again, I do want to see this team prove it to me that they do not belong in 10th place because I did not want to put them below Glenbell and the Flying Chalupas just because Glenbell and the Flying Chalupas only plays to win when they need to win. But First Blood Legion, I believe, is a 10th place team until they prove otherwise.
Yep. And then for the community, they put U.S. Army Esports. Obviously, they are also a new team on the scene. Not a lot of people know them, so I'm not surprised that they're that low on the community rankings. So for my 9th place team, Oklahoma get Diamond Rush. I like the roster. I think it's a good roster. I'm just not very impressed with it, though.
Yeah, I understand that. I actually kind of had a little bit of the same thing for my 9th place, which was Glenbell and the Flying Chalupas. I believe that they have not been playing a ton of League. I know that I have Mosher or Chris Can't Miss added on my friends list. The man's a Chad, but he does not play enough League. He is in Plat 1, I believe, right now. I mean, if they start grinding some solo queue, they could easily pull out wins against a lot of these upper tier teams.
Yeah. And then in 8th place, I had Team Fish Taco. I don't see this team going super far just because, like you said, they went 6-0 and then they did not make playoffs. I feel like Diamond has improved since they last played as well. So I don't see them going very far.
Yeah. I had my 8th place as the Saucy Summoners. With the familiar faces of Randy Newman and I can't remember who the Killering. I do not know the other 3 names, and I would like to see Hurricanes perform. But there are a lot of powerhouse ADCs in this league, and if he can't perform and Randy Newman can't perform in the bot lane, they're just going to get rolled.
Yeah. And then Community did have Oklahoma Diamond Rush for 8th place. And then for 7th place, I had U.S. Army Esports. I want to see these guys do well, but I just don't know too much about them, so I put them in 7th place.
Yeah, I believe our U.S. Army Esports is in my top 6. I want to see them perform because they're a new team and they're a team that is the U.S. Army, and that's actually really cool to me. So I do want to see them perform. So I put them a little bit higher, hopefully to encourage. My 7th place is actually Oklahoma Diamond. I'm so sorry. These Overwatch guys are actually nuts. Just saying.
That's completely fine.
In my 7th place, I have Oklahoma Diamond Rush. Familiar faces, obviously. They have the return of Mechanical Reaper. I don't know how much he's been playing. I don't have him added. Hopefully, he's been playing at least a little bit league to keep up with the meta. I think he was a good player whenever I first started playing in the league. Also, Silverhammer, good friend. Hopefully, he wins that mid lane competition because I paid for his entry fee. And I just want to see him win anyways because Chad man. But hopefully, this team does well. I want to see them in the top 6, but they just got to perform to be there.
Yeah, for sure. And then Community had Team Fish Taco as 7th. So obviously they're kind of on the border of, hey, Team Fish Taco is a decent team to Team Fish Taco is not going to amount to anything. So going on to the top 6. In 6th place, I had First Blood Legion. Given, yes, they're a plat team, they play very well together. And they have that synergy, and they performed extremely well in plat. The reason why I put them as 6th is I didn't feel like I should put them too low. And I didn't feel like that they were like a 10th place, 11th place team. But at the same time, I didn't think that they were like a top tier team. And 6th place was the only thing I didn't have filled out. So that's basically where they ended up.
Yeah, that seems good. I actually had the U.S. Army Esports at 6, as I said earlier. It's really cool that these guys are actually participating. Hopefully we can actually see them perform. I put them in my top 6. I want to see them compete to a level where they compete with the top 6 contenders. But it just depends on, I guess, how they play, because I have not seen any of these 5 players ever play before.
Yeah. And then Community had Saucy Summoners for 6th, and which is also my 5th choice. I think these guys can actually show some good skill in this game. Just looking at their na.op.ggs, just looking at the players on the team, looking at their synergy, I felt like that they would do good. Just a hunch.
Yeah. So I have Team Fish Taco as my 5th place team. Azuki, very good top laner. I mean, we haven't seen him perform as well in the last split. He wasn't a big name that everybody knew. But that, as I said, or as a lot of people have said, there's not very many top laners that do perform at a high level in this league. It's like everybody's mid tier. So I do want to see Azuki perform because he's a high elo. All right, I'm pretty sure he's Diamond 1, Diamond 2 last time I saw. But him and his team can actually probably do something if they play it well enough.
No. And Community has ranked Unlucky Ascension for 5th, which I conveniently ranked for 4th as well. Can we get to the good league already? In just a second. So, Unlucky Ascension, I thought these guys were very good. I feel like they were the good parts of Unlucky, because I'm pretty sure Unlucky Ascension and Unlucky Retribution were split per se, and I recognized all the names on Unlucky Ascension. These are guys that have made playoffs ample amount of times. Definitely think that they would have been top 4.
Yeah. In my 4th place, I have Gecko Slammer Armageddon. It was very hard to pick between Unlucky Ascension and Gecko Slammer Armageddon because of how similar I think these teams are. Their bot lanes are both very strong players. So Gecko Slammer Armageddon has the bot lane of Rito, Torchic, and Himana. Very strong bot lane. I played against them multiple times. The same with Tien Sama. I played against all of them. I believe that Unlucky Ascension had I put them fairly above them just because I think Gecko Slammer with Ikato was very good. But now that they have a new mid laner, Inox, I have not actually seen him play. I do think that Unlucky Ascension has barely the thing to beat them.
Yeah. And Community surprisingly ranked First Blood Legion as 4th place. If they do that good, awesome. If they don't, Community was troll most of the time anyways, and we'll get to that in a bit.
Rankings, Kappa.
Community rankings were decently troll. If you looked at the whole grand scheme of things,
Hey,
which
bro, they had Return of the Middle Sticks on top, so there's
yeah,
nothing I
no,
can
we'll
appreciate
talk
more
about that when we get there. So for third, I had GSM. I might be a little bit biased here because I know that bot lane extremely well and I talk to them quite a bit. But overall, I thought that these were all names that I recognized as soon as I saw them. I really liked the team. And I think that they would do very well together, and I know that they've played together a lot.
that mix of a team actually is pretty nice. I know they're all friends, and I hope to see them do well. But in my third place, I have Unlucky Ascension. The bot lane of Unlucky Ascension is very, very, very strong. I'll talk about it in my Return of the Middle Six one, but I do want to see the competition between the bot lanes on like the top tier teams because I feel like the bot lane's going to be a really competitive role.
Yep. And in third, community also had GSM. In second place, we both agreed Return of the Middle Sticks being second place. I'll let you talk. I'll let you take this one home.
So Return of the Middle Sticks. MVP jungler, Tendies. He's an animal. Nobody ever stops him. He's always on the top of the kill leaderboards with Tien Sama. Now that we have Shivam and a new bot laner, I just want to see them perform well. I want to see Shivam perform because he's playing. I believe he's going to play for K-State. I don't know what role yet, but I do want to see them take down all the other bot laners. I think with the mid lane, I want to see Algu play those carry champions because we played in a couple tournaments back in the day on like Battlefire or something like that. And whenever we did play, he popped off mid lane. So I'm hoping to see a lot of that this split.
Yeah. And then let's talk about community rankings for a second. They had the Poo Poo Crew for second and Return of the Middle Sticks for first. The difference between these was literally 0.001. The PPC received 3 12th place votes, while Return of the Middle Sticks received 0.
Huh.
Proud of you guys. I asked for one thing.
So, PPC, personally, I played against them. I've talked to a lot of them. I was actually in a Snapchat group chat with a lot of them. I think they're a really good team. They 4v5'd us. If that doesn't prove that they could beat us, then I don't know what does. With the new roster, I want to see another rematch. Hopefully the new team can beat them unlike the old team. Yeah. But I do want to see a competitive series between them again because it was very, very fun to play against them.
I think the PPC I've watched these people play. I saw the uncapped finals for Summer Splash. They seem like a very solid team. They won Summer Splash for a reason. They play extremely well. I have no other words. They just play extremely well. So, going on to Platinum Capped. Apparently the division everyone cares about in the chat at the moment.
Oh,
best cap, except Gold Capped is best cap. Don't at me. Going on to our first team, we have Business Time with the captain Jordan Kilgar Smith, with the top laner, the Revenchrist, the jungler, a Jelly Roll. Their mid laner is Fictitian. Their ADC is OSU Alarm, and their support is Kilgar. So fun fact, Business Time didn't have a picture, so I chose their picture.
Oh. I just thought that was their picture. I was like, it's a bunch of Chads standing up there. But for this team, I do recognize a lot of these faces, or a lot of these names. I believe that bot lane came from the OSU, like Piltover Pokes or something like that, right?
So Kilgar was the mid laner for the Piltover Pokes, and now he's playing support. We'll get to the old support of the Piltover Pokes later on.
Okay, and the top laner, Revenchrist, I had talked to him a few years back just about like general play and stuff like that. He played mid lane last split, so he obviously is a flexible player. So I hope to see something out of this team because they have a lot of faces that have been around. But we will find.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out about this team. But if you'd like to introduce our next team.
So the next team we have is Cosmic Flow with the captain Henry UNSC Vandenberg. Vandenberg. All right, got it. Henry UNSC Vandenberg. With the top lane, we got Alercion. In the jungle, we got Chimichangas. In the mid lane, we got Legion. In the ADC role, we have UNSC. And in the support role, we have Black Salt.
So on this team personally, I know Larcion in person. I know Chimichungus in person. They are very good friends. I want to say that they're roommates at the moment. So they do have that synergy. My only worry about this team is that Alarcion was silver. I want to say he's still currently silver, and he's playing in plat capped. I don't know how well that will affect his gameplay against other people. Just because when he was on teams like SEAL Team 6 and OU Gold, those teams didn't really get super far.
Yeah, one of the names that I do recognize is UNSC. He played on the Kings of Baron, actually, I believe. And I don't remember how far they got. I believe they went to
They got
playoffs.
fourth place last
They got
split.
fourth place. Yeah, they went. So they did go to the playoffs. Yeah. As you said, I don't know a ton about this. Platinum Cap is the one I know the literal least about. But if you say that they're roommates and they got that synergy, jungle top synergy is very important. It's same with jungle mid, but jungle top is a pretty good one to have too.
Yeah, for sure. So going on to our next team, we have Crimson KC. So we're bringing back the Kansas City teams from the Kansas City Get Wrecked. And with their captain, Elijah Fargo Floors, we have top being Boar, which also known as Boar Rider Man, Boar Rider Boy, whatever he's going by, just Boar now. In the jungle, we have I'm Lefty. In the mid, we have Viviator. In the ADC position, we have Fargo, and in support, we have Flaygod. Do you want me to take this team on, or do you want to talk about them a bit?
Coming from KC, Crimson KC was a team right before I joined, probably about a few, maybe 1 year, a little bit before. But I like that they're bringing back the Crimson KC team. I like to see that Boris still in the league. I know that he moved from ADC to top. I do want to see how he performs, but a name that I do see that I have not seen in a long time is I'm Lefty. He played for a Diamond Cap team. I can't remember what their name was called, but it was back whenever League KC was around, and he was the jungler for a Diamond Cap team. So I do want to see how he'll perform in Plat Caps. But for the rest of the team, you can take the lead on that if you know them.
Yeah. I don't know I'm Lefty too much, but I do want to talk about Boar real quick. So I want to say like 3 splits ago, I was on a team with him. We ended up winning first place. He played ADC. Last split, that was 2 splits ago. Last split, he played ADC again, won first place. I'm very interested to see how he makes the transition to top lane. Last split and the split before, everyone on about how he was either feast or famine. Being on his team and watching those games and casting those games, I didn't really see the famine at all. I just saw the feast. So if he can translate that to top as well, I think this team is going to be extremely strong.
Yep. And so for our next team, we have the Platinum Division, Gecko Slammer Armageddon. I cannot remember. I'm pretty sure they all go by GSM.
Yeah,
but
GSM works.
Okay. I know because they had like different names or something like that for some reason. I don't remember. But this is a long time ago, actually. So the captain is my mom, Ariel Ari Panda West, sending the love that way. Top lane, we got Daddy's Milk. Jungle, we've got Huni. In the mid lane, we've got the Leroy. I don't know, that's Leroy Jenkins, but I hope it is. ADC, we've got Karasuda, and bot lane support, we've got Ari Panda. So I know last split that Ari Panda stopped playing, but I do want to see her play this whole split, Mom, just saying. But I do want to see how this bot lane will perform, because I have seen that Karasuda is quite a strong bot lane. If you have anything else on the other 3 people that
I'm just gonna throw some shade at Ari real quick. She is still currently gold 1, has failed her plat promos 4 times.
Yikes
Indeed. Karasuda, what I've seen from him, he used to be a Callista main.
He was a Callista main.
He still is a Callista one trick, but he still plays other ADCs fairly well. I haven't seen Leroy or Huni too much. Daddy's Milk I have seen before. He plays extremely well, so I'm definitely interested to see how GSM performs.
I can't believe you called out my mom like that, man. That's so
I know.
All right, so you want to move on to the next one?
So, also, Just a Gamer did not have a picture, so this is the picture that I chose. So, Just a Gamer with their captain, Roger Pegaso54 Greyju. In the top lane, they have Tunum 3it.
Tuna Melt.
Tuna Melt. Yeah, you're right. In the top lane, they have Tuna Melt. In the jungle, they have Higgy 73. In the mid lane, they have Pegaso 54. In the ADC role, they have Infinity Gear. And in the support, they have Amethyst.
I can actually talk on this team almost at all. I have never seen any of these names.
I've never seen any of these names either. So
the one name that seems kind of familiar is Amethyst. That seems like a name I would have seen before, at least at some point. But being a new team, you just gotta like prove yourself. So good luck to these guys. I don't have anything else to say.
Yep. Cat. My favorite team in Black Hat, by the way.
I love these guys. I always see these guys' names and I'm like, this is a great name. So the next team we have is the Meat Beats. I don't know what the L2P is for. Is that
Learn to play?
Learn to play. Okay. So they got their captain, Chandler Seismic Welch. I like the last name, Welch. My friend has the last name Welch. Call him King Grape Juice. But in the top lane, we've got Seismic. In the jungle, we've got Black GTO. In the mid lane, we got Trance VR. In the ADC, we got Biscuit Pitch Bit. And support, we got Spoon Crush. I don't actually recognize any of these names for some reason on the Meat Beats. I don't know if they changed like an entire roster or something.
I don't think that they've changed they might have changed a few people. I think some of them are name changes. But all in all, Meat Beats have always performed well. They have the best names. Biscuit Titchbit.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I love that name. But yeah, I hope the Meat Beats perform. I hope they learn to play too. So
going on to Oklahoma Platinum Rush with their captain Dallas OGR Trodelor Harvick, and he is also their top laner. In the jungle, we have Pan of Neverland. In the mid lane, we have Andrometer. In the ADC role, we have Peanut, and in the support role, we have Legend of Sean. I'm gonna go with
Legend of Sean, probably. This team is almost completely new. The only name I recognize is OGR Trudlor, who used to be their mid laner in Plat Cap on the first split that I ever joined. Oklahoma Platinum Rush, whenever they were a Plat team in the first league that I started playing in an GRLCS, they were known to be the best team. They went undefeated. We ended up barely beating them in finals in a 5-game series that went about 9 hours because of stupid like internet lag or whatever it was. I don't know. But I do want to see him. I like that he's back in the league, and I do want to see him perform. But this whole new team, they got to prove themselves once again.
For sure.
Don't know who they are.
I'm right there with you.
So, for our next team, we've got Peen Pals with their captain, Matty Chex Mixon Johnson. That's a legacy. Top lane, Racelhoff. The jungle, No Mind. The mid lane, True Furry. ADC, True Magic. And the support, Chex Mixon. Chex Mixon, support that played on the gold team, Plat team, actually, no, just gold team.
Gold teams.
One first place twice in a row. Do want to see her perform in the Plat League. No Mind, I have also seen him. He's in our Discord. I don't know much about him, nor do I know much about the other team if you know anything else.
So I actually know decently a bit about most of this team. The only name that I don't really recognize is their top laner. So obviously Peen Pals couldn't have the tip. If someone in chat wants to explain why they couldn't have the tip, like the reasoning for why the tip isn't there, by all means go for it. But all in all, I think this team is solid, but I think it's lacking at the same time. I feel like everyone needs to step up in each of their specific roles if this team wants to be a top team. And currently I'm just not seeing that right now. Given I might be completely wrong going on. I've never seen this group of people play before, so just going off of solo queue games and just how I feel about these teams, because I do know most of these people, which will be reflected in my power rankings.
Okay.
Going on to Rets and the Wild Ruggies, with their captain, Cameron Worslock N.A. McMillan. In the top, we have Reptar. In the jungle, we have Worslock N.A. In the mid lane, we have Celercia, which used to be the support for OSU Pokes. In the ADC role, we have Blue Ashley, and in support, we have Let's Have Fun.
Yeah, so 4 of these players I recognize actually. The support, that's a new one. The ADC Blue Ashley, she is the ADC from that plat team that stepped up to the Diamond Cap team. I saw her at LAN. I didn't really talk to her, but they did perform. I believe they got second, third, somewhere around there.
Second.
Solercia, second. Yeah, good job. Solercia, he was a gold player. Want to see him perform high in Platinum. But the top lane in the jungle, Reptar and Worstlock, I do want to see how they will perform. They've been on the same. They were on the same team last split. Reptar, pretty hard carry if I say so myself. Pretty sure it's brother Curb Stomp if that's the same Reptar. But I do want to see how this team will perform with having a backup, or not a backup. Bringing back all of these names.
Yep, I definitely like this team's lineup. So, but only time will tell how they do. And our last team in Plat Cap, if you want to talk about them.
Oh, I would love to talk about them. Return to the Middle Sticks Platinum. They got their captain, James Sandbagger, Wing Nation Reagan.
Never mind, I lied. This isn't the last team, but keep going.
They got their top laner, Sipo. In the jungle, the return of Dr. Wildly. They got their mid laner, Wing Nation, with their bot lane being Atso and Hulk. This is going to be a transition for the team. I know they talked about it before the split happened. We've got Hulk moving out of the jungle. His carry role, that fucking new dude. They're going to move him into the support role. I want to see them perform. These are my boys. If you have anything else, let's just get these dubs.
I'm just happy to see Wing Nation in Plat as well as Hulk. I think all of Gold Capped is happy to see those two in Plat Capped where they belong. All in all, though, I think this team is decently solid. So we'll see. Next team we have Resonant Nostalgia. I forgot that this is the big one. So there's like five more teams after this, 4 more teams.
Yeah, I think there's 4 teams. Counting.
Yeah. Captain Nicholas. Their captain is Nicholas Thrills of V2 Burkhart with the top laner of High Panda, jungler of Autofill Support. That sucks. Mid laner Dr. Smug, ADC Woot for Mill, and their support is Thrills V2, which is also their captain. I know nothing about this team.
I as well know nothing about this team. I have nothing to say about this team. I just like the name Autofill Support. It's a good name. I've been getting Autofill Support in all of my solo queue games. It's really annoying. I respect his name. But new name, new team, new faces. Hopefully they perform. But other than that, I have nothing to say.
Yep. Next team, one of my also favorite names, but if you would like to introduce them.
Yes, we have Shake and Bake. We got Captain Hunter Represent J Presudo, I'm going to go with. They got the top laner, Verbal Toxicity. The jungler, Wee King 59. The mid laner, Escanor. ADC, Faded 00. And then the support, the captain, Represent J. I have no idea who any of these players are. Top laner's name is pretty Kappa, but
I'm glad we're on the same page here. Moving on, we have the Sensei Squad. With the captain Dylan Darthy, matched. In the top lane, they have Nick Laws. In the jungle, they have Water Bear. In the mid lane, they have Midnight Slushy. In the ADC role, they have Boosted Asian. And in the support role, they have Mark Hames. This is the team that won Plat Cap last split. If you are in Plat Cap, this is the team to beat. That's what I got.
that's all we got. Actually, I have a lot about this team. They are very, very strong. Water Bear, Plat 1 jungler, very strong player. Their mid laner, Midnight Slushy, and Boosted Asian. I've seen those names before. They performed pretty good. Their support, Mark Hames, actually. That's what I want to talk about. Mark Hames, the Chad himself, the caster, the diamond player. Why are you in Plat Cap? You are so much better than this, my friend. You belong in Diamond Cap. I believe you could have performed in Diamond Cap.
I'm very much aware that Mark Hames can perform.
I think Mark Hames is a good player. But I think that this team in Platinum Cap is going to be very strong.
Yeah. Nope. And moving on to our last team.
Last team we have is Unlucky Ascension. This is a new team as well. They are also a brand from the Diamond Cap Unlucky Ascension. They have the captain, Kelly, Goddess of Storms McEarlian. The top lane, Router. With the jungle, Hog Pasta Boy. Mid lane, Ashton, ADC, Goddess of Storms, and support, T.O. Cold. The two names that I do know from this team are the ADC, Goddess of Storms, and the jungle, Hog Pasta Boy. Hog was a, Kappa team. Got second place, I believe. Kind of performed. I want to see what their jungler has to offer, but as well as this mid laner and this top laner that I have no idea who they are.
Well, as someone who was on Hog for a short amount of time, I really like Hog Pasta Boy. He was a very good jungler. I do definitely want to see him step up into the plat role, though. During finals of Gold Cap, he did get outperformed by Hulk. So I definitely want to see him step up into that plat role. Goddess of Storms, I know I recognize the name. I know that she plays ADC. Other than that, not really too much about this team.
Yeah, Goddess of Storms, I believe, played on GSM last split as the ADC. I'm not for sure not, but that's, I think, where I know her from.
Okay. Well, moving on. Our bottom 7. We all have Shake and Bake for 14th. Do you have anything to say about this?
Not gonna. When I made when I made most of this list, I have no idea who any of these teams were, and I didn't want to do it with research. I didn't want to look up all of their op.ggs and be like, oh, this team's plat 1 players. They're going to be, rank 2, rank 1. I wanted to do it based off of names that I knew and also teams that I have seen before. These teams are at the bottom that are kind of newish. This isn't like a good representation for me, but I do want to see them perform and work their way up to the top spot because these teams are all so new that it's so hard to pick out any good teams.
No. Well, in 13th, we also all had Unlucky Ascension. Again, just the stuff that I talked about. It's mostly, if Pasta can't perform at the Platinum level, then it's definitely going to be very hard for them to go far. And just seeing how this team works well. It's mostly just because I have not seen this team work well at all is why I have them here.
Yeah.
You say that we're trolling. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about GSM later. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get there.
12th place, we have Cosmic Flow. I've played it with Alarcion. I've played with Chimichangas. I have him in 12th.
Yeah, I do know UNSC. I have seen him play. He's a good I can't even remember what lane he was playing. He might have been the ADC, but they've got to prove themselves to us. I mean, the top lane of the jungle, they have the synergy. They can work together. If they can play around mid or jungle top and get each other fed, that'll be really good for the team as they.
Yep. And then Resonant Nostalgia for 12th from y'all. 11th place, I have Resident Nostalgia. No clue who this team is. Put it here.
Yeah, neither do I. I have 11th as Just a Gamer. This is the 5 players that I have no idea. A lot of these teams are teams that we have no idea who they are. So it's going to be very hard for us to pick and choose who are in the bottom, what is it, 6 or 7?
Yeah. Bottom 7. But in 10th place, I have Just a Gamer as well. Just didn't really recognize these names. Didn't think that they would do too well.
Yeah, and my 10th place is Peen Pals. I do know a few of the players. Chex Mixin, no mind. I have not seen the other players, so I cannot make a confirmed decision on this one. But I would like to see Chex Mixin play well. I'd like to see No Mind play well, just because they're legacy players of my old org. So I have them at 10th, but hopefully they can perform in the top 7.
So for 9th, I have Peen Palace as well. I talked about them a bit, how I know most of these players. I played with most of these players. I want to see them perform because the last time I played with them, they were at a gold level. I don't think they're ready for the plat cap level yet.
Oh, yeah. My 9th, I have the Resonant Nostalgia. Again, don't know who they are. I do see in the chat though that they have the people are saying conferences. I completely forgot that it's broken into conferences once these many teams.
Yeah.
Do you know like which teams are playing against which? Because
We can pull that. We can pull that up
later,
afterwards.
yeah,
Yeah.
that works. That works because
I
a lot of that will play a factor in how good these teams actually will be.
Yeah. Which, I'll break it down on next week's slide, just like how we think each conference is going to go, just off of our rankings. And then community, you have GSM as ninth. What are you doing?
A Kappa.
GSM
Oh,
who?
no.
Who SM? Who SM? Okay. Eighth place, I have business time. I mostly put them up above Peen Pals because I really enjoyed the picture that I got for them. That is literally the only reason why they're above Peen Pals.
Yeah, and they have a lot. They have 3 players that I know who they are, so that puts them above a lot of the other teams just because I've seen them play. It's easier to like put a team somewhere whenever you know how they play and how they work together. Um, I don't know much about the other 2 players, but I see that all 3 of us have business time at 8th,
Yep.
so I don't know. There's not much
Sounds
to say
about
about
right. Sounds about right. Okay, going into the top 7, I have Oklahoma Good Platinum Rush. You have Oklahoma Good Platinum Rush. Do you want to talk about it a bit?
Yes. So with all these new faces, except for the top lane, I don't know where to put them. But OGR Trodlor was he was actually a very good player whenever I played in Plat Cap back a while ago. I do want to see him perform, and I do want to see him pull his team up to the 7th place bracket, or in the top 7. Um, I don't. I haven't seen these guys play, so it's very hard to judge where they're going to be. But Trodlor, I hope he does well enough to pull his team up higher.
Yeah. And then 7th has Cosmic Community has 7th as Cosmic Flow. I think this is a very high ranking for this team. Just personally. Going on to 6th place, I have Crimson Casey. So the way that I did my 6th place vote was this is the team that I think has a chance at making playoffs. Obviously, with the playoff contentions, the first 2 seeds get into playoffs regardless. 3rd through 6th have to battle it out for that other spot. I have Crimson KC here because of that reason. I think that they definitely have a chance to make it to that quarterfinals.
Yeah. The top 6 was probably the most competitive for me. I wanted to see these top 6 teams. I know who all of these teams are from this point up, so it was a lot easier to actually make it from 1 through 6 on based on where they belong. Gecko Slammer Armageddon, as you said earlier, Ari Panda, gotta grind that solo queue, gotta get out of Gold 1, gotta show them that you can perform in this Plat Cap League. Gotta get up in high plat, gotta get anywhere but gold, and you will literally gotta prove yourself. But I see you laughing on stream. I do think that they belong at 6th unless they can prove that they can beat Crimson KC and Reps in the Wild Ruggies because the other top 3 teams are just super strong.
And then you as the community do have the Meat Beats in 6th place, which I have them in 5th place. I rank them just a bit higher than Crimson Casey. So 5th and 6th for me were basically dead even. I went off of names. I'm not kidding. I went off of names of teams for that one. I had them dead even. I didn't know which one to put over. Meat Beats picture and name made me laugh more.
Yeah, I have actually your 6th in my 5th. I have Crimson KC. Bull Rider Man is a player that I know, and I hope that he can perform well in the top lane because I know it's a difficult switch from ADC to top lane. Top lane's my worst role, and I'm an ADC player. But this team is from Kansas City, so I do have to put them a little bit higher. Just saying. But hopefully they can perform high enough to keep it in the top 6.
And in 5th place, the community has Oklahoma Platinum Rush. So definitely higher than the 7th that we put them at. So in 4th place, we both have Reps in the Wild Ruggies. I really like this team. I think this team is very solid. I think the reason why this isn't contending for a 3rd, 2nd, or 1st is Celercia. She's just too much of a wild card right now. We don't know too much about her in the mid lane. We've only seen her in the support role.
Yes. Reps in the Wild Ruggies, as you said, very strong team. I think they're well coordinated. I think they belong in the top 4. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say on that one.
Yeah. And then 4th place for community is Crimson KC. Again, honestly not a bad ranking, something that I could see me agreeing with as well. In third place, I have GSM. I'm the person who put GSM the highest. So I have a bit of insider information, which I'm not allowed to talk about on stream, but I think GSM is going to be very good this split. That's what I got.
I put my boys, the Meat Beats. I put them at third place. They gotta learn to play. No, I'm just kidding. Meat Beats. They pull off some clutch wins when they need to. I hope they're top three. I know that they can perform well enough to stay in the top three, but it's going to be a hard battle between Meat Beats and Reps in the Wild if they both play.
Yeah, for sure. And then second place, we all have, well, community has Reps in the Wild, right? He says third. Second place, we all have Return of the Middle Sticks. First place, we all have the Sensei Squad. Return of the Middle Sticks, I think, is a very solid team. I think that they can go very far. I think they can win this whole thing if they play their cards right. The biggest thing that they need to worry about is the Sensei Squad. The Sensei Squad is stacked. Again, that is the team that you need to beat.
Yes. Platinum Caps is basically ran down by the Sensei Squad right now. They have like 5 super strong players. I hope that they can Return of the Middle Sticks can keep up with them. I hope, because they're my old team. I hope they can perform well enough. I know that they're a top 2 team, but they're gonna have to work for that 1 seed if they're gonna get it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am done with Black Cap. Do you have any final words for Black Cap?
I do not. Actually, I do. Top or not top. All of you teams that are at the bottom, do not be discouraged. We just don't know your name. Just play and prove yourself and take those top spots from those teams.
Just remember, everyone thought Hog was a 17th seed team, and they got second. So, do not be discouraged. Anyways, on to the best cap. I'm sorry I yelled. I'm so sorry. Anyways, going on to our first team, Team 63. / with our captain, David Vid Cossack. In the top lane, we have Siren. In the jungle, we have I'm Heimel. In the mid lane, we have Joe Barrow. In the ADC role, we have Seeger's Funky Mama. And in the support role, we have Vid. Yeah, would you like to talk about Team 63 /?
I would. I know everybody but the ADC. All 4 of those other players, though, have been around for a while. Vid, Caster, big part of the community. You, Siren, big part of the community. Caster, Heimel and Jabero, I don't know like who they are, but they have been around the gold cap scene. I've seen them both before. I hope this team proves himself. I know that they can work well together. Vid and I don't know if the other 2, the jungler or the mid laner, are from Flex, but Flex was a hella troll team, but still managed to pull off wins when they needed to. And I believe that that's something that you can work with coming forward as a semi-decent team that can play at a higher level.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about this team a bit just because it is my team and I know them. I'm Heimel Joe Barrow. We're on SEAL Team 6. So was Vid for 1 week. He ended up quitting GRLCS for a bit. All 4 of these members, besides myself, were the main members for OU Gold, however. The 5th member was Alarcion, who is on Cosmic Flow at the moment. I feel like this team will find great success depending on how drunk people are. If they're sober, we're good. If they're drunk, not so good.
Yes. So, the next team we have is the Big Fat Int with their captain Justin J. Werewolf Ware. In the top lane, they've got Itumbo. They got in the jungle Villaneres, something like that. That's pretty close. I'm gonna go with that's close. In the mid lane, they got their captain J. Werewolf. In the ADC, they've got Go Bobby 234. In the support, they've got Maxayan. I do not know any of these players. Do you know any of the players?
I looked up their na.op.ggs. I wasn't super impressed. Also, apparently our virus threat protection's going off right now. So, great job. Anyways.
Kappa.
Yeah, I just wasn't very impressed with this team.
Yeah, being a team that has, I don't know if they've played in this league before. I'm assuming they haven't since I don't know their names and you don't know their names. Being a team that's brand new, you got to prove yourself. But I just if they're not looking too impressive, I hope that they just have communication to be a good team. That's pretty much all I got.
Okay. Our next team is the Golden Crabs with their captain, Blake SP Pillars. In the top lane, they have SP Pillars. In the jungle, they have Baker Mayfield 6. In the mid lane, they have Warg in the ADC role, Paladin, and in the support role, Brimstone Brewery. The only name I don't recognize is Brimstone Brewery. I think, other than that, I have talked to Brimstone a bit, though. Him and Paladin seem to hit it off quite a bit. Warg solid players through and through. SB Pillars and Baker Mayfield are the two members of this team that I am worried about the most.
The only name I actually recognize from this list is Paladin, the ADC. When I first started playing in the league, there was only a couple of teams that I had known in different divisions, and in the Gold Cap division, I believe it was Paladin and Boar Rider Man that I had heard a lot about as the good ADCs. I don't know anymore. It could be different. But I don't know much about this team. If you do, and as you said, you're worried about the top in the jungle.
Yeah. So Baker's Baker's backstory is he was on Ghost and then he wasn't after he played Flex. And so it's more of a mental thing that I'm worried about Baker the most, as well as Pillars just keeping up with his team.
Yeah.
Going on, would you like?
Team. Oh, yep. Yeah, I got this one. This one is a lot of players that I do know. First, we have the Mighty Ducks, sorry. Their captain, Skylar Devranga Roberts. In the top lane, we've got Dillinger. In the jungle, we've got Goosey. In the mid lane, we've got Devranga. In the ADC role, we've got Dirty Audacity. And in the support role, we've got Scrambles. A lot of these players are coming from the gold capped Return of the Middle Six from the Summer Splash. I know that they can work together good as a team. I believe they follow each other to whatever team they go to. The only people I don't know is Goosey and Dirty Audacity. Maybe Goosey was from Unnecessary Roughness, I think, right?
I want to say so, yeah.
But Dirty Audacity, don't know who he is. Hopefully he can work good with Scrambles. But their team synergy is already kind of there. They already have them played on the same team. Do you have anything?
I think this team is honestly extremely good. Devranga, Dillinger is a very good top laner. He's very consistent and he's very good at playing the game in the top lane. He's very good at controlling the map and just overall a great top laner. Gold Capped has been known for having a very weak top lane pool, where most of the top laners play things like Scion. And that's literally it. You play Scion versus Maokai every single game. It was very boring to watch. Sometimes you'd get Shen. The only person who brought really any difference last split was Hog Huntera. So it's I like seeing Dillinger back in here because he does like to play those carry top laners. He'll play Heimerdinger, which he'll just make you sit under turret all game and play Stardew Valley. So I think he's going to be a very good top laner, and I feel like in Gold Cap, the way to win is through your top laner, as well as just jungle presence. If your jungler can control the map the way that Hulk did in Gold Cap as well, I think you win most of your games.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, you're the next team, sorry.
Oh yeah. Going on, we have FF15 Please, also known as the UCO team, or at least two of the members from the UCDM team. Their captain is Young Shung Penguin Job 818 Toon. In the top lane, they have Holy. In the jungle, they have Penguin Job 818. In the mid lane, they have Blobby. In the ADC role, they have X Starfall. And in the support role, they have Boguka.
I respect you holding the Y.
Well, he might have just left a key on his Y key for a bit and just forgot about it. I don't know.
Yeah. This team is a team I don't know much about. As you said, they were from UCO. Two of them, I don't know which two. So if you want to take the lead on this one, I have no idea who this team is.
Penguin Job 818 and X Starfall were on the UCO team. I want to say they won one game last split, so they didn't get last place, but they almost did.
Okay, so it's kind of like the UCO team in last split as well. I do want to see them. If they're going to perform, they've got to prove themselves if they did only win one game last.
Yeah. We also found Penguin Job 818 one time in normal queue, and he muted all of us. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. We lost that game. Just want to let my grief out there.
So the next team we have is Flex Gaming, with their captain Blake Kokomo Breezy Beckett. In the top lane, we've got Horny Yordle. In the jungler, we've got the Alpha Cracker. In the mid lane, we've got Flex Echo. In the ADC role, we actually have the captain, which is surprising. I haven't really seen an ADC that is the captain, the Kokomo Breezy. And in the support role, we've got Emla. I do not know this team. I do respect the top laner's name. But if you want to talk about this one, if you know them.
All I have to say is that this is not to be associated with Weird Flex But Okay. Weird Flex But Okay was the greatest meme team of all time that fell apart so horribly. So horribly. So this is basically a new team. I recognize no one.
That's okay. Well,
going on to our next team, GSM number 3. We have a GSM 3-fer. In the top lane, their captain, Levi Staten. Can't play week 1. He can start playing week 2 because at that point in time, he will have been gold for 4 months. So according to the rules, he can play next week. He can't play this week.
Oh, mega lol.
In the top lane, I Love T-Swift, also known as Hog Huntera, also known as GSM Skipper, which this needs to be updated on the website, Ari. In the jungle, we have Panther 553212. In the mid lane, we have Seymour. In the jungle, in the ADC role, we have Nyx, Rain, and Levi. And in the support role, we have Silver Spade 10. This team is stacked.
Yes. Seymour, Silver Spade. I have known them for quite the while. When I first joined in GRLCS, I think last spring. No, 2 springs ago. Seymour and Silver Spade, they were on the GSM Platcap team. Now they are playing in gold, and they were pretty damn good team inside of Plat. I think they were like 2nd seed or something like that. It was like OGR and then GSM. Seeing them in gold cap, I mean, I saw them in gold cap last split too. Powerhouse team. I think they could win first place, but they have to take the right steps as to how they're going to do it.
So the story behind GSM Gold, this was Taste Like Purple, I want to say. No.
Taste Like Purple or Taste Like Armageddon?
Taste Like Armageddon, that's it. That was the mashup. So it was TLP and GSM mixed together. This lineup is the 3rd place lineup, but with Hog Huntera, so the 2nd place top laner with the 3rd place lineup. So they removed Toe Knuckles from this team, and they got Hog Huntera. I Love T-Swift. GSM Skipper. So many names. I think this lineup is completely stacked. Most of these guys should be in Plat. GSM Skipper has failed Plat promos 10 times, though. So, should he be in Plat? You decide.
Kappa. So the next thing we got is Get Money Boy. With their captain Grant Emerisi Deletter. He is their captain in the top lane, Emerisi 3, with the jungler Creativity Yoke. In the mid lane, they got Lord Zoten, and their bot laners Marco Flavo and El Big Daddy 28. Do not know anything about this team. If you would like to talk.
Please, everyone, get your crabs out. This is what came of ASR. ASR was gone. Get Money Boys came. Get Money Boys won every single game after the ASR debacle. They did not make playoffs, though, because they lost too many before the ASR debacle. I think this team is solid, but at the same time, I think a lot of the gold cap teams are solid, which we'll get back to later. This team can very much make playoffs, but it all just depends. Going on to the next team, though, we have Kaiju Gaming, a team that a lot of people seem to be sleeping on right now. With the captain Fred Godzilla Chang, their top laner is It's Fox, their jungler is Godzilla, their mid laner is Tiltproof, their ADC is January, and their support is Crixon. January and Crixon have had such a solid lineup. They've played a lot together. They're a solid bot lane. Godzilla, very solid jungle. I don't think he played jungle last split to my knowledge, but he just knowing I know the player, he plays well. It's Fox and Tilt Proof. I don't know as much. They're the two people that I am worried about the most, however. I think Kaiju Gaming's downfall might be their solo lanes.
Yeah, those are the only two names I do recognize is January and Godzilla. I think maybe. Um, I don't have a ton to say about them. You kind of already said it all. So I hope they perform. I'm gonna say that for like most teams that I don't know. I hope they perform, but that's pretty.
Fair enough.
I am completely ready for this next one though. This is the org that I love most. We got teams in all three divisions. We got Return of the Middle Sticks Gold Capped, led by their captain, Aaron Maristematic Dillsaver. I'm gonna hope I said that right. Please don't kill me if I said that wrong. But in the top lane, we've got Zao1212. In the jungle, we got Seize the Stampede. Mid lane, Maristematic. Support or in the bot lane, we've got Tall X Guy and Glitter and Gains. I do like to see the return of Glitter and Gains. She is from League KC. I do like that this is the League.
She played last split as well.
She did play last split.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't play much since the Gold Cap, but it is good. It is good to see that name. It is also good to see Maristematic, especially in the mid lane. That is something I do like to see. He's going to take on the role of Winged Nation. Winged Nation is going to be he's his little like person in the shadows watching him. The other guys I have not talked to that much. Sieg I know was on the team in Summer Splash, maybe last split too. But if you have anything else on this team.
So I don't know too much about Sieg. I think Zale is a very solid top laner. He was in Plat Capped at one point in time. He's now playing in Gold Capped. I think he is one of the top laners to definitely look out for. He can definitely control a game. Maristematic, I love to see in the mid lane. We did get to see a bit of it in semifinals and finals when him and Winged would always switch and he would play like Zoe mid or something. And he did very solid on these roles. So I'd love to see Maristematic on this carry role instead of designated tank. Yeah. Tall X Guy and Glitter and Gains. Tall X Guy is gold 1, almost plat. Honestly, very solid guy. Used to be a mid lane main though, so want to see how he does in this bot lane, as well as Glitter and Gains is a good support. She plays Nami, she plays all your typical e-girl supports. Those seem to have solid showings in Gold Cap GRLCS, and it is what has won for the past 3-4 splits. Going on to power rankings. In 10th, I have FF15, please. I saw UCO. I saw a lot of the UCO players on this team. I thought they were getting last.
Can I remake this list?
No, so it's already there. It's already there.
Okay, apparently I'm sleeping on a lot of these teams. I have no idea who they are. But I have Get Money Boys at the very bottom, even though you have them at like 7 and everybody else has them at 6. Sorry, I don't know the bottom 2 teams. Until we get to like the top 5, it's going to be kind of hard for me to make a hard decision without looking at op.gg's.
All good. Flex Gaming, I didn't recognize. I still think that they could do better than UCO though, so I put them right above FF15, please.
Yeah, my number 9 is going to be Kaiju Gaming. Again, I recognize a couple of the names. I've never seen them play though. It's going to be the same for a lot of these bottom 2 teams. They got to prove themselves, make themselves known in the top.
Big fat int. What I had is, I think anyone can beat FF15, please. I want to put that out right now. I think anyone can beat FF15, please. I put Flex Gaming at 9th because they stole weird flex, but okay. I had Big Fat Int at 8. They could also be 9th or 10th, though. I think these 3 teams are the bottom 3 teams. They're, in my opinion, none of these teams will be making playoffs.
Yeah, in the chat, I see Maristematic saying that the Big Fat Int is 4 silver players. silver players are the Kappa trolls. They they can come in with those clutch wins. That's all I'm saying. Sixth place team, let's go. In my eighth place, I have FF 15. You know, apparently you have them in last place. Community has them at ninth. UCO players. Hopefully they've improved if they're a collegiate team. I know from my experiences so far that I have performed a lot better, and if they're actually working together as a team and playing well, then they could potentially get higher in the rankings.
Yeah. So it actually hurt me a bit to put Get Money Boys at 7th place. I just couldn't force myself to put them higher, though. All the teams that I have above Get Money Boys, I think are very solid. I think all the teams from 7th and on have a chance of making playoffs. I think Gold Capped is very close right now.
Yeah. Gold Cap's always been a big division. It's actually the smallest one, I believe, this split. But it has always been very competitive between who wins or who is in like the top two. My 7th pick is going to be Flex Gaming. I thought they were, with, big weird flex, but okay, like something like that. But apparently I was wrong.
No.
I don't know much about these guys, but hopefully since my teams like in the bottom 5 are kind of flopped from your guys's, hopefully I'm right so I can just prove you guys wrong. But don't copy paste this and like bring it back later.
Oh no, we are definitely bringing this back later.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't bring this back on me later. That's all I'm saying.
No, these slides will be brought back at some point in time. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
they're saved on my computer and everything. In 6th place, I have Kaiju Gaming. Again, I think this is a very solid team. I think their solo laners are their weakest part, though.
Yeah, 6th place, I got big fat ints. 4 silver players. I myself was 1 silver. All I'm gonna say is I was the best silver that there was. No, nobody can convince me other. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Fair enough. And then our last slide of the day, and then we'll go on to predictions and stuff, which we'll talk about in game, just over chat, I guess, while looking at the community predictions. In 5th place, I have the Mighty Ducks. This team I want to say now, I think GSM definitely locked in for 1st. 2nd through 5th, anywhere it can go. This is just how I felt like that these were going to go down. In 5th place, I have the Mighty Ducks. The reason it's kind of petty for me to put the Mighty Ducks this low, I've just Scramble said that I was a terrible jungler, and then I ended up winning 1st in jungle. So I'm giving him the same treatment. I don't think he's going to be a good support.
My power rankings for 5th and 4th are flops from yours. I believe that the Mighty Ducks actually belong a little bit higher. I know that they have the communication, they have the team comp built around those 3 players that have known each other long enough. Golden Crabs, I don't know a ton about. I think you know more about them. Community ranked them obviously at 2nd, so obviously there's something about them, or they're just 5 players hella trolling, just picking themselves over and over again.
Oh, no. Let's just say GSM easily won 1st place in community rankings. Everything else, everyone had 5 last place votes. Y'all suck, by the way.
Yeah, the community rankings, we're just going to, just...
It's wise just stop talking about them.
Yeah. Control A backspace for the whole community rankings. So for 3rd place, we both have ourselves with the Return of the Middle Sticks. And basically mine and yours, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd teams are quite similar.
Yeah.
For mine, I believe that GSM is a very top tier team. They belong at 1st. With those plat tier players, there's no way that anybody else can bring them down unless you outperform them mechanically. 2nd, I have Team 63. That is kind of like...
Don't forget the backslash.
Sorry. Team 63 backslash dab. Yeah, I saw you dab on stream. I just had to say it out loud. Physical. Team 63 backslash, I believe, is a 2nd or 3rd tier team. Them and Return of the Middle Sticks will compete for who is in that 2nd place spot. Team 63 is made up of Weird Flex, but okay. A couple other players. Return of the Middle Sticks also has some returning faces, so hopefully that they can, take it head on head and see who takes that 2nd place spot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, with that, we have our team introductions and our power rankings underway. Let's talk about the games themselves this week. So, moving on to predictions, we are going to start with Gold Capped. So, First game, Get Money Boys versus the Golden Crabs. I think everyone is thinking that the Golden Crabs is going to win. I think the Golden Crabs are going to win.
Oh, I didn't press submit, but I also have the Golden
Oh,
Crabs.
you didn't need to fill this out. I didn't have enough time to make the slides.
Yeah.
So
I like went to the survey and like clicked on them, but I'm still on the first page just because I didn't want to lose my recordings of what I answered.
Yeah.
But I do have the Golden Crabs winning this first.
Okay. Going on to, and just by the way, next week we'll have these in actual slides as well as how everyone's doing on their actual predictions. Yay! Big Fat Ant versus Return of the Middle Sticks Gold. I have Return of the Middle Sticks Gold winning this. It's a team of silvers versus a very solid team of. I have no words for this game.
Yeah, I have Return of the Middle Sticks Gold. Obviously, my team, best team. But Big Fat Ant is that 4 silvers. Just I just want to see how they play as 4 silver players. If they have good communication, there is a way they win. Silver, best league. That's all I'm saying. Silver league, join, please. We need that silver league started, so we have 4. But
Yep. Going on, we have FF15 Please versus Gecko Slammer Armageddon. I think everyone thinks GSM Gold is going to win. Everyone thinks that this is this is the team to beat if you are in Gold Capped.
yeah, I as well have GSM Gold. You just have to go with them. They have all of these top tier players. They're like almost platinum. Some of them were platinum.
Yep. So going on, this was actually a lot closer until I told a bunch more people to vote because this was at a 50-50 split. This is Kaiju Gaming versus Team 63 /. So I'm obviously voting for my team. I think my team can win this if we actually get our head in the game. But Kaiju Gaming, again, if they just come out arms swinging and we're just like, whatever, we can lose this game pretty easily.
Yeah, Kaiju Gaming, as you said, team that is underrated, can perform. If there's a team that's going to be an underdog, could be this team. But Team 63 / I do have them winning as well.
Yep. Going on, the Mighty Ducks versus Flex Gaming. Everyone's thinking that the Mighty Ducks will win this, and I agree with them 100%.
Yeah, I as well agree with the 100%. Mighty Ducks, Flex Gaming, fake Flex people. Can't pick them any time of the week. But Mighty Ducks, I do believe in my my legacy boys. I hope that.
Okay, I assume it just went a bit too loud for you. So, as you say, you believe in the Mighty Ducks. Going on to Plat Cap predictions. Cosmic Flow versus GSM Plat. So I have GSM Plat winning this. I don't think Cosmic Flow is going to be very good. I think Cosmic Flow is going to lose this terribly in a 2-0 stomp.
Yeah, GSM Plat versus Cosmic Flow. I do have GSM Plat winning this game. Whatever these votes are, hella troll, or they just know people.
I'm
know
proud
them.
of you guys. I'm proud of this community. Always trolling Gary.
Yeah. But I think GSM Plat needs to prove themselves before Ari blows up on everybody.
Fair enough. Going on to Resonant Nostalgia versus Just a Gamer. This one was a hard one. I have Just a Gamer winning this because I want them to.
Yeah, I actually have Resonant Nostalgia winning this game. I don't even remember if I had them higher on the list. I don't know either of these teams, so I just did coin flip. But
yeah.
But Resonant Nostalgia, I'm rooting for you. I hope.
Yep. Going on to Crimson KC versus the Sensei Squad. I have the Sensei Squad winning this. I have the Sensei Squad going undefeated this entire split. So.
I as well have Sensei Squad winning. Crimson KC, I hope you give them a good battle. But I do not want Sensei Squad to win every game. I definitely want Meat Beats to beat them.
Okay, well, Meat Beats versus Business Time. I have Meat Beats winning. The community has Meat Beats winning. I assume you also have the Meat Beats winning.
I have the Meat Beats going undefeated, but
why? Why?
So, the Meat Beats learn to play. That's all I'm saying. but I have them winning, and I hope.
Yeah. Shake and Bake versus Unlucky Ascension. So this is the Unlucky Ascension in Plat Cat. How do you think this game is going to go? Because I have mine, but I think this is going to be a very interesting game.
Um, I have Unlucky Ascension just because Unlucky Ascension is kind of a brandish between Unlucky Retribution and Team Ascension. I know that Team Ascension is a team that played in the 20K and it performed very well. And I do hope that they prospected like specific players that they knew because I know that player John has a goddamn plethora of players that he knows for some reason. So I hope that they made a good team and I want Unlucky Ascension to play well.
Yeah. So I also have Unlucky Ascension winning this, but for different reasons. I knew the people on this team. I've played with the people on this team. I hope it's more of a hope that they win than I think they're going to win. So my money's on Unlucky Ascension. So Reps in the Wild Ruggies versus Return of the Middlesticks Plat. I'm going to not show this just yet. Who do you think's going to win?
I myself, I want Return of the Middlesticks Plat to win. I want my boys to win this game. They should win this game. But I think that Rep in the Wild Ruggies will give them a very hard game in the first split, or very first week. Reps in the Wild Ruggies has a very communicated jungler with a top laner that is very, very strong. And I don't know if Return of the Middlesticks Plat has an answer to that, and I really hope they do.
Yeah. So I also have Return of the Middlesticks Plat winning this for the sole reason of I think that whatchamacallit, Dr. Wildy, solid jungler. I think Hulk moving into the support role is he's been wanting to move there for a long time. So I'm very happy to see him in the support role right now. But it also looks like just barely does the community think that Return of the Middlesticks Plat is going to beat Reps in the Wild Ruggies. I think this is definitely the game of the week for Platinum Cap. This is definitely the game to watch. Going on to this, I showed it by accident. We won't be showing the rest of them at first. U.S. Army Esports versus Return of the Middlesticks Diamond. We both rated Return of the Middlesticks Diamond as second place. I believe we both think that they're going to win as well.
Yeah, Return of the Middlesticks Diamond. Very strong team. I believe that they'll win. But I do want to see how the U.S. Army Esports does play against them. I think I'm pretty much gonna watch all of these games just because I have no idea who these guys are.
Fair enough.
So I want to get to know them better. So I want to learn how they play and see if they will actually be able to beat teams that I have ranked above them.
Yep. We now have Saucy Summoners versus Gecko Slammer Armageddon Diamond. I have GSMD winning this. I think GSMD has a very solid lineup, and I think that they can honestly go to town on Saucy Summoners.
Yeah, I have GSM Diamond as well. As I said earlier, that King Yeetloaf in the jungle is just super strong. Um, the the last half of the last split, he joined Lanceneck and basically pulled them into like playoffs. They probably could have made playoffs without him, but he pulled them and they actually beat us too. I think somewhere near the end of the split,
Yeah.
but he unfortunately could not make the playoffs and they ended up getting, I don't know, third or fourth, somewhere around there.
Something like that. So next we have Team Fish Tacos versus Glendale and the Flying Chalupas. Who do you have winning this?
I actually have to go with my boys Team Fish Taco. I believe that Azuki will play very strong in the top lane, and Heimer Doodles will have a lot of control over that map. As I said earlier, his kill participation is very, very high. He needs to play around his team, and his team needs to play around him. I think that they can take down Glen Bell and the Flying Chalupas, but I don't know what the rest of the people.
I really want Glen Bell and the Flying Chalupas to win. Like, in my heart of hearts, I want Glen Bell and the Flying Chalupas to win. I have Team Fish Tacos winning, though. So, Glen Bell and the Flying Chalupas, in my heart of hearts, you have my vote. But I have Team Fish Tacos winning. Now we have Beto and the Goon Squad versus Unlucky Retribution.
Yeah, so even though I had Unlucky Retribution at 14th as, like, meme, RuneScape Kappa, I actually picked UR winning that game. I want UR to perform well. I want player John to pop off. And I have not seen Beto in the Goon Squad. I only know I can't even remember who we knew on that team. It was one of them that we knew. But I think that Unlucky Retribution will take this.
I actually have B down the Goon Squad winning this. I think given we don't know a lot about them, I think that they can pull through. And because they're all is leading them because it's his Goon Squad, I feel like they'll just beat up the people playing RuneScape. It does look like everyone has UR winning. The community barely has UR beating Beto, so definitely going to be an interesting game to watch. And we also have probably another good game to watch. Oklahoma Diamond Rush versus the Poo Poo Crew. I have the PPC winning this.
Yeah, I got my boys PPC winning this. Even though they don't have some of their powerhouse carries like their jungler and their mid laner, I think that it's still a very strong team. I do want to see what they'll pull out. They could pull out their 4v5 strat, 3v5 strat, or they could pull out some sort of funneling. But I do think that Poo Poo Crew will just dominate most of the teams until somebody can prove they can beat them.
Yep. And then last but not least, we have Unlucky Ascension versus First Blood Legion. This is a hard one. I have UA winning this.
I as well have UA winning this. I believe that First Blood Legion is a good team. And if they want to be in the top 5 or top 4 or 6, whatever it is, they need to prove themselves. Coming from Plat to Diamond, a lot of teams, a lot of people don't believe in these teams. Unlucky Ascension, though, is a very, very good team with a very strong bot lane and a hyper carry like top laner that plays a bunch of different things. Yep. So I want Unlucky Ascension to win. I don't know what you have, but
I had Unlucky Ascension winning as well. So we are going to look at the divisions just a bit, just to show them. So of course, not all the teams were on that because some teams have buys. So Avarosa and Winter's Claw are our 2 plat caps. So in the Avarosa, we have Cosmic Flow, Crimson KC, Gecko Slammer Armageddon. Jag is, off the top of my head, I don't remember. Not Jingo Squad. What is Jag? Scuff Stream. Jag is... do you have any idea what Jag is?
Just a
gamer. Okay. Just a gamer. Peen Pals, Resident Nos, and Sensei Squad. So I think that this division has very solid teams. I want to say only... I think Arnos definitely gets knocked out. I think Jag definitely gets knocked out. And I think Seaflow gets knocked out. So I think those are your bottom 3. And then the top 4 so everyone else stays in the running and makes it to quarterfinals.
Yeah, so I believe that Squad, Crimson KC, and GSM are definitely going to make it. Squad, very strong team. Crimson KC, team I want to see from Kansas City that's going to bring back the legacy of Crimson KC, as well as GSM. They are I don't know, I had them kind of lower, RIP, but I believe that they can still win.
Yeah, and then in Winter's Claw we have Business Time, Learn to Play, the Meat Beats, Oklahoma Platinum Rush, Rep, and the Rugrats one. I can't remember the name at the moment. Return of the Middle Sticks, SNB, and Unlucky Ascension. SNB is Shake and Bake. So I think Shake and Bake gets knocked out. I definitely think this might be, even though this doesn't have all of the top teams, this one might be a lot closer, just in who makes it and who doesn't. I think Business Time will get knocked out most likely. Learn to Play will get... Meat Beats probably will make it. Oklahoma Platinum Rush maybe gets knocked out. This one's definitely going to be a lot closer to look at.
Yeah, no, Meat Beats definitely make it. Return to the Middle Six Plat, I think makes it. Meat Beats make it. I think OGR could actually make it out. And RAR is definitely going to make it out. So I think Unlucky Ascension might get dropped out. SNB and B-Time.
And then looking at Diamond, we have Nobles versus Imperials. We have GBFC. Want to remind me what that is?
Glen Bell Flying Chalupas.
Yeah, Glen Bell Flying Chalupas, my favorite. Gecko Slammer Armageddon, Return of the Middle Sticks. SS is not Sensei Squad. It is... Yeah, I don't want to...
I actually don't even know who that is.
This is your division.
It's
Saucy
my division.
Summoners.
Oh,
Saucy
okay.
Summoners,
Yeah,
Team
that's a
Fish
that's a
Taco,
different name.
and then the U.S. Army. I think this is honestly a decent division. Return of the Middle Sticks, GSM being in this definitely raises the bar for it. But other than that, the other two spots are anyone's game in this division. Imperials, on the other hand, I assume is going to be a bit harder. I want to say just so they do have the PPC, which I think is going to go undefeated. B-Dell and the Goon Squad is definitely going to be a team to watch. If they do well, awesome. If they don't do well, we all predicted it.
How many teams make it out of each division?
So
4?
Each division, 4 teams make it out. 4 teams from each division play, and then whoever wins. So it's first seed from Nobles will play 4th seed from Imperials, etc., etc.
Okay.
If we have a Nobles November, please.
Yeah. So
Wait. I want PPC to go through Nobles November except for PPC because I think PPC is going to win this.
I do think that in the Nobles bracket, I think that ROTM is gonna make it out. I think that TOT is gonna make it out. GSM is gonna make it out. Now it's gonna be a fighting spot for U.S. Army, Saucy Summoners, and Glenbell and the Flying Chalupas on who makes it out. It just depends on who plays better throughout the split. On the Imperial side, I guarantee that PPC is gonna make it out. I know that Unlucky Ascension is gonna make it out. Now it's the other 4 teams that are like kind of close. Wait, who's FBL again? Oh, that's B-Dell. No. Wait, no, it's B-Dell.
FBL as First Blood Legion. FBL definitely has a fighting chance on making it out. It just depends on how well they play.
So I think it's going to be UA, PPC. I think First Blood Legion will make it out. I don't know how far they go off, but it's going to be a fighting spot between OGR, B-Dell, and UR. I hope that OGR makes it out, but it just depends.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think we are done with week 1. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next week we will have more structure on the slides. I was a bit rushed on making them today. But next week we'll have more structure on the slides, new segments as well as talking about the matches in the slides versus just looking at it on here, I guess. But other than that, thank you guys again for watching. If you guys want to be in the calls and talk about certain things, or just talk about the match of the week or how you feel like your division's going, please DM me. We are more than willing to have guest speakers on this. But until then, I've been Noah Sirene Hassoun, joined by Logan FOTC 4th Shot. I don't remember your last name.
Alcaraz without the T.
Alcaraz.
I hope that I start up my stream soon while I'm at Mizzou because this place is literally fantastic. I hope to keep you guys updated. If you do not have my Twitter, I'm pretty sure it's literally just Logan Alcaraz. Hopefully not to spell that. But yeah, should be fun. I hope that I can stay a part of this community just because I love the people that are in this and I love the competitive scene. So I hope that things keep going the way they are.
No. How wholesome. So anyways, thank you guys again for watching. We will see you on Saturday for Plat Cap casting, Sunday for Diamond and Gold, I want to say. Although that might switch around later. And then myself and 4th, I'll see you guys on Saturday. And myself and 4th Shot shall see you guys next Tuesday for week 2. Thank you guys. Okay.
Hello. Nope, it's
Sounds about right for most
just
of the
as bad. Just as bad.
So
Last
Riley's
break,
internet
now at
literally has
400.
stopped working at this point. But on the plus side, I am playing the best Bard game that I ever have, I think.
Meanwhile,
I'm taking names.
I can't get a connection lower than 400. I can't get lower than 400 ping.
Ready for this?